It appears Eskom has turned a corner there in terms of generation, where that is concerned, as the country marked 100 days of no load shedding last week. But a new problem has been identified, and that is in terms of distribution. But to talk to us more about this challenge and how they plan to deal with it is the Minister of Electricity and Energy, Kgosientsho Ramokgopa. Thank you so much, Minister, for your time today. Minister, in terms of the challenge of distribution, talk to us about the plans around dealing with that and talks with municipalities.
Well, thank you very much. It's a major problem. We did warn some few years ago that at the rate of perennial underinvestment in relation to municipal distribution infrastructure, you are likely going to hit a snag sometime down the line. And in fact, the projection at the time, just before COVID, was that in the next 5 years or so. And of course, it has come a bit earlier than whatever anticipated. So it's a number of things that we are experiencing there. First, of course, is a municipal space. The Constitution says distribution is an exclusive purview of municipalities. Of course, there are other municipalities that have roped in Eskom to help with distribution. But with the gradual erosion of the municipal revenue base as a result of the underperformance of the economy, we are seeing that they're investing less and less on the replenishment and the maintenance of that infrastructure. And then we are seeing a spike in municipal tariffs that is making electricity unaffordable, resulting in conditions of what I refer to as energy poverty. Just people not having enough to be able to replenish the prepaid meters for them to get the kind of electricity that is required to meet their own demand. So what we're saying is that there has to be that conversation with local authority. So it's not about the minister who's sitting with a solution to everything. So it's not a panacea. So it's important that we have that engagement with municipalities. They are owing Eskom over 78 billion rands. If the current trend line continues, collections and payments that we are seeing now, if you extrapolate it to 2050, it's about 3.1 trillion rand. So this is huge. So that's why it's important that this conversation must happen and quicker, because we also want to address the issues of load reduction. It has nothing to do with generation, but the consumer's experience is the same. There are hours in the day where they don't have electricity. So we want to address that question.
And you mentioned that you want to address this quickly or soon. Can you give us sort of a timeline or your estimate of how soon talks will commence, and also how long it will take to deal with this issue?
Well, first is that we've done a tremendous amount of work at the tail end of the 6th administration with the erstwhile executive in Kokta, Minister Nkadimeng and Deputy Minister Tau. So there's a set of solutions that we had put together, a technical team that had worked on a robust model on how to address this. So what I prefer to do is engage with the new incumbent, Honorable Velinkosi Klavisa. So once we conclude with him, he's a former mayor, I'm a former mayor. We have an appreciation of the kind of challenges that are facing municipalities. I am confident that we should find an answer soon. I am not in a position to say by this date. I'm sure that once I engage with him, and we are able to get an appetite on his part to address this question. Collectively, we can say we see the resolution of this problem by this time. When I say the resolution of this problem, at least agreed steps, concrete steps on what needs to be done. Because I think it's going to take a bit much longer for you to ensure that the poor have got access to cleaner forms of electricity, cheaper or affordable forms of electricity, the repurposing of some of the grants in the space, so that when we think of electrification, we don't think in a conventional way that there must be municipal wires, Eskom wires. You can do some of the behind-the-meter intervention of grid solutions. Those solutions exist, and they are cheaper over the long run. But the poor don't have the money to invest in the capital that is required there, and that's where we should come in to help to resolve this problem.
All right, thank you so much for your time. That was the Minister of Electricity and Energy, Kgosientsho Ramokgopa, just taking us through the challenge that is at a municipal level in terms of the distribution of electricity, as it has been 100 days of no load shedding, but despite that, some areas experiencing power cuts as a result of those municipalities unable to deal with the infrastructure, rather unable to distribute that electricity to some consumers there.